once again, we are back. We are back, of course, in video form as always, going forward. So it's fun. Hopefully, everybody's got their drinks. Hopefully, everybody's ready. Hopefully, you guys at home are ready. We got a show for you. I'm not promising a good show. I am promising a show. A little bit of, we got some Spider-Man 4 news. We're going to talk a little bit about Venom. We're going to talk about Superman, Marvel Studios 2025 preview, and how Disney lied to us for 2 years straight. And then we also do got some comments and questions from you guys, which I said I was going to start taking. But since we are recording this on Wednesday, it's not going to be as full as it is going to be in the future with more comments, just because this show, I got to get it out of the way. I forgot I have a doctor's appointment and all sorts of stuff coming up.
Essentially, a lot of this for the next couple months are going to be the condensed, or you're going to have double the amount because of, U.S. Thanksgiving, and then you got Christmas and New Year's. So
Yeah. So it's like, if you're not familiar with it, every year we typically pre-record a couple episodes for like Christmas and Thanksgiving, and we typically do like a look back on the year or what's the best of. So we're gonna do that again, just because that works and it helps us fill slots in advance, just so you guys know. So with that in mind, as always, I am Armin. Find me at the link tree right here. That's the direction. Go find me. As always, some of you have messaged me since last time on whatever I'm on. If it takes me a couple days to reply, that's because I focus on posting memes instead of reading messages. So,
true. And I think you posted a recent video where you and Shay were at, was it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or something like that?
Yeah, you guys can go check that out. It's had a good response. Pretty much it was
whole
like
con just for the turtles.
So not
apparently.
Yes and no. So it's a con called Granite State Comic Con.
Right.
Well, so it's Granite State Comic Con, but where the creator of the Ninja Turtles, Kevin Eastman and Laird, lived literally 15 minutes from this con. So the last 2 years, it's become the annual gathering of everything just Ninja Turtles. And
That's fair.
Yeah. So it was like a giant, thing for fans. But as always, I'm not alone here. I am joined by Mitch over here.
Is that the right way? It's the right way on my screen, but I can.
Yeah.
I'm pointing.
Man.
Hey, you can find me at the Mitch692 channel. Jared has officially finished Evangelion. So we're going to be talking about that tonight, I think. So that's this week at some point. Hopefully Friday. Yeah. Go check that one out.
Okay, there we go. We also, as always, we do have Ricardo here.
Go woke or go broke, right?
Yeah.
No, this feels like the Brady Bunch.
Wow.
Are you the rejected one because you got Black Adam down there in that?
I wondered what you were going to say then. My brain stopped before the happened.
Oh no!
I was like, wow. Goes video and it's instantly grifting. Like, goddamn.
Follow me on that at on X or whatever that at is. But if it's on an X-rated video, I am sorry.
Didn't know every time I say X, you got to do the star jump. Right.
Oh yeah.
Start to time. And as always, of course, we are joined by also my co-host of the gaming podcast we do, which you guys can see pop up on the feed either Thursdays or Fridays, Tristan.
Yep. Good morning. I am tired at this point. Do have a review out for Medieval. It was out yesterday. I will have a Lost Media video out probably in the next day or two, and some other stuff coming along. You can check my socials in the link tree. I do post a little bit more on Blue Sky than I do on X currently.
I keep meaning to go to Blue Sky.
I got a Blue Sky.
I feel like I should join it, but I'm like, it's another app to have on my phone.
Yeah, it's a little better because people actually talk to you and will interact with you for the topic.
Yeah, it's like a lot better on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be worth it. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. Maybe it'll get updated in the link tree. I'm not sure.
And if you want to block someone, you'll block someone. It's free of charge.
There you go.
You're not just like muting them. No.
Yeah. We do have a comment I just want to get right out the gate. This was the top one that showed up, so I'm not sure for whatever reason. But Outsider Vice is glad that we are now on video and like this, making it more interesting, which is good. I guess looking at us makes us more real, I guess. Yeah.
There's more use for AI. Crazy.
That's true.
Oh, no.
That's true.
Well, I did see a comment from last week, and someone didn't know I was half black, and then it was like, okay, I am lighter on the lighter
It's
side.
kind of hard to tell that from a
Yeah,
disembodied voice.
yeah.
It's like that. There was like that filter on TikTok a bit ago where people are like, if you use the reverse feature, it'll reveal what you really look like. And
Oh
an
no.
Asian kid was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh my God, I'm Asian." It's kind of like that. It's like, yep, you are. I found one of those to be I'm not sure if it like checked my phone for what I am or whatever, but it was like, "What ethnicity are you?" and had all the flags in the world. And I'm doing it and somehow stops on Bosnian. I'm like, either this thing is racist or it's reading my phone and knows I'm Bosnian from my searches and what language
You
I
weren't
speak in
wearing
my
that
Probably
house.
that one.
Bosnian dog tag at the time, were you?
I was not for that video,
Yeah.
which is, like I made sure. I was like, nothing to skew the results here.
It's like, wait a second. Oh, that's why.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, everybody, we do got a decent show on hand. Yeah.
lying.
So,
He's lying.
yeah.
It's
So let's just get into the first topic
Mhm.
here. Superman. We got Superman leaks. So these come courtesy of action figures from McFarlane Toys. Now, the
Oh,
thing with
no.
McFarlane Toys is they're not good. Okay, let's just get that out the way. They're
It's really weird with them because it's like it's
Yeah.
either hit or miss, but recent times it's been a lot of misses.
it's
I love you.
They haven't made a
McFarlane.
good figure since the Halo days. So.
Oh, wow.
honestly, it's like my issues with them are if you buy a figure, it comes with a stand, but they don't stay on the stand. Like their legs wobble and they have like weird poses. I can't explain it. But courtesy of these, we did get a lineup of like Superman characters and moments from the film that are described, and they confirm a couple interesting things. One, there's a kaiju in this film. The Superman fights in Metropolis.
Mhm.
Two, the kaiju will grow fully because there's a baby version and the full version, and somehow one of them is tied to Lex Luthor. So, okay, maybe he
didn't-
engineered it.
Was it Parasite? Did it say the name?
It just says kaiju, so that's all we got to
Yeah,
go
so I'm
by.
not so sure it's Parasite. 'Cause I'm trying to figure out like what kind of kaiju monster like
Superman
Superman
has,
spot.
right?
This is it. This is that
Doomsday. There
Godzilla.
you go.
It's that Godzilla crossover. Just
Oh
watch.
my
Oh no.
It's
Maybe
happening.
Gunn brought the rights to that US kaiju, whatever it's called.
Cloverfield?
No, you know the Marvel had that USA Avengers.
Oh, they
yeah,
had their
The
visually
American kaiju,
yeah,
whatever it was.
yeah, the visually
Uh-huh.
distinct Godzilla that had the flag, on his
on his
chest.
chest.
Yeah.
Maybe you brought
Huh.
that, and it's just going to be that.
But also along with that, we got the confirmation of, is it Ulysses? Is it Ultraman? It's Ultraman. So Ultraman is the person in the suit. Now, there's a strong belief that this is a clone of Superman that's pretty much Bizarro posing as Ultraman, which, yeah, probably. Like Lex is
Cool.
doing genetic experiments. Because remember, James Gunn did say his influences on Lex Luthor, and if you look them all up, it's the scientist, it's the guy that's like Frankenstein. So you're like, maybe there's something here. I don't know. So let's go kind of around. What do you make of Ulysses not being the one? It's Ultraman and the kaiju, and Lex Luthor being, I guess, the primary villain, sort of, right? Like,
I mean, to me it feels like Gunn is trying to get some of that campiness from Superman that's been missing for a while. Because for me, I'm just like trying to rack my brain around this because this is something out of like Silver Age Superman or something from the cartoons, and it's like you got triple twist about who the villain actually is. It's not one set that's gonna be of a villain that's gonna be throughout it. Because for me personally, I thought they were gonna go with like someone like Parasite throughout the whole thing, and not like have a kaiju and Ultraman duking it
Yeah.
out, and then oh no, it comes out it's Bizarro that's actually behind that with Lex Luthor.
I mean, it's kind of like, got to keep the audience on their toes. It's the thing that we always talk about when it came to like the MCU for a long time. It's like amalgamate, change around, defy expectations. Like, like Whiplash was like the first real big example of that in the MCU. Was like, okay. Like,
Yeah, this is defying expectations because not only the villains, you got all the other heroes that are going to presumably be in this movie for Superman. Then you got Crypto as well. So
Yeah.
trying to flesh out this world in one whole movie for Superman.
Now, why you got to bring up the woke dog, Tristan? Huh?
dogs are woke now? I thought people like dogs.
Like
course
I
dogs
went
are
on
woke,
X to look at the reveal for that video that James
Or
Gunn posted, and everybody, like the top comments were all like, "Woke." Zack Snyder wouldn't cast a woke dog. I'm like,
or is it that it needs to be a pure breed to be good, and the woke is a mutt?
I just like how he posted that one picture of like the original Crypto, and it's the same
Yeah.
dog. Just like,
Same
okay,
dog.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that that's the thing with it. Ricardo, I never know your stance on Superman because I know like you like a bunch of Marvel characters, but when it comes to DC, I'm not sure. How do you feel about Superman in general?
No, Superman is my favorite character in DC.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
yeah, because I'm diehard Christopher Reeves fan. God knows how many times I rewatched Smallville. Like
Yep.
Superman is just my guy. So James Gunn is doing what I've always wanted for a Superman movie, is just to be Superman.
Yeah.
It's been so long. Like even like what is it? Superman Returns. Even I miss like the storyline of Superman Returns, just like the way it feels.
I love
So
Superman Returns. Like
yeah,
that's
it's not even that
in my
bad.
opinion, that's an
It's not
underrated
that
movie.
bad,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like them using like Ultraman and stuff. And I don't want to spoil like what happens in The Boys, but I feel like James Gunn is trying to like he's bringing inspiration from The
Yep.
Boys comic.
Yep.
Just by
100%.
yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Whoever's seen The Boys comics knows what I'm talking about. What they're doing with Ultraman. And I think that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
and it makes sense, right? Because from the plot that we're getting, the whole government superheroes, they all want to be their own thing. Be like, oh, we got to follow these rules, and Superman's like, and then Lex is like, okay, here's my own Superman. So I feel like it makes sense. I think this is pretty good. Pretty excited.
And also, like, Ricardo, have you been watching Superman and Lois?
Yeah, it's been great.
Because they did the Bizarro thing on that, so it's like you can't copy the same Bizarro thing, like the same story. So it's like, yeah, if they do it differently here, because theirs was like a counter Earth effect. Again, just go watch a series; it's great. It's the best thing CW's ever made. So,
Last
yeah,
season.
yeah, I get the thing. I get the sense that we're in for a swerve here if you don't know what they're going for. Mitch, what's your optics on this one? On everything you're
I'm
seeing?
just here for the ride. Like, I'm not a DC guy, really, so I'm
Yeah.
just like cool. I'm here for the ride. Do
You're
whatever you
looking
want.
for the good content. I know. Still, your most controversial take that will get brought up in the comments is somebody being like, "Remember when Mitch said he doesn't like the Arkham video games?"
I don't like Arkham games. No.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
That's something just doesn't click, and it's just like
Yeah.
Like, they're
Don't
not
worry.
bad. I'm just not a fan of them.
Uh-huh. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Someone's
So,
got to not like it, right? No,
it's true. It's
So
true.
what about Batman Ninja?
Batman.
You know,
That
Batman
one
Ninja?
anime
We all just
movie.
go silent. Wait, what's
Yeah,
he
you're like,
talking
you guys
about?
don't know they're making a sequel. It's coming out like early next year.
Oh,
Tristan
Oh,
just-
I haven't
Batman
watched a
goes back
DC
in time.
animated movie since was it Justice League War?
Is that is that the one with dubstep swap thing? Because that made me quit the entire
I don't know.
universe.
I didn't get that far in.
Yeah, because
All right.
they're making a sequel, and this time it's Batman versus the Justice League, but this time they're from another Earth, and they're Yakuza.
So the other Earth Batman is fighting another Earth Justice League. Cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next Yakuza Like a Dragon game, Yakuza Batman. Actually, that would be pretty lit.
It's probably already a mini game in the Yakuza games.
Yeah, exactly.
I do know that the live action Yakuza is coming to Prime pretty soon.
Yeah,
No, it's already
yeah.
out. It's terrible.
It is?
It's terrible.
Really?
Well, that's
It's
unfortunate.
bad. It's already out. The first 3
Wow.
episodes. It's bad.
Oh.
Wow.
I saw the first episode, terrible. The second episode, I fell asleep. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
In fairness, you have some pretty wild.
I'm sorry, Prime. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
because now my face is on camera. It sucks. I'm sorry.
Bezos knows now.
Bezos has your identity now. Okay, so going off of that, that's kind of it for the Superman leaks and the conversation there. So we'll be back with more as it comes probably by the end of the year. But next, we're going to get into the Venom franchise. And before we get there and what happened, we do got a couple comments here. This one was my favorite one from Koopa44. I'm pulling a Mitch with The Last Dance. I am sailing the pirate seas, and I'm hoping that the first half
Oh
of
my
Spider-Man
God.
4 is grounded for sure.
Just call me Luffy. There you go. I'm on the One Piece.
Even I got that reference, and I've never seen it, so that's how much it ingrained in pop culture that show is. Oh, man.
Sony ain't getting this day, I tell you. No.
Yeah. And then I do got another one before we get into the whole Venom discussion. This one comes from Ethan Killian 786. These scores, referencing Venom, are a bit surprising because, yeah, the movie is trash, but so were the other two, and they were crowd pleasing. Why is this one hitting so much lower?
Because it's the
I
same
don't
thing
know.
for the third time. You just
Yeah.
repeating.
I kind of feel like that, even though, like, everybody I've talked to, even the people that, like, didn't like the first one or the second one, or, like, even the people that I know that love the first two, even they were like, this is actually trying. Like, this film tries, which I do got to give them credit, but I do think even them trying is not enough when it's the same film over and over, you know? Like, it's...
That also makes it worse because the other two weren't trying. So the second they are, it's trying and it's the same stuff. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
And
that's...
before we get into it, right? Because I have a question. I don't know if this is like spoiler or whatever. So you remember that time we talked about how Regal and Sony, quote unquote, leaked the merchandise for the film? So
Yeah.
none of that is in the movie. So I'm trying to,
Isn't there a
I'm trying to
white symbiote
understand.
in there though?
So
Not
there
a
is
white
a...
symbiote,
Yeah,
but
that's it. But that's... Yeah.
But you know that's Sony's attempt at that, right?
spider
Oh, yeah.
logo, no anti-venom. I couldn't believe my
Like,
eyes.
and remember, like, this film takes place in the same universe as Morbius and all that stuff. In Morbius, they straight up mention Spider-Man by name. Venom is name dropped, and Morbius knows him. But Spider-Man, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, they got the Lizard. He's back in this, but he's not the Lizard. He's just a hippie.
Is it actually Connors though, or is
No.
it just the actor?
Just a random guy. I think his name is Melvin or something. Yeah, it's wild. But the one thing that we're hearing is that the franchise is over, according to Sony and everybody involved. So why is Agent Venom's origin in this film if it's over?
Because we've had Venom's story. Agent Venom's going to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also one symbiote survives, which is Agony. So she's out there still fully symbioted. So
Which
I guess...
one? At one point with Agent Venom, there was the kid.
Mhm.
There was the girl.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
So-
remember the M, I think.
Agony's the purple one with the long, like,
Long
hair follicle thing.
Purple
I don't
Scream
know.
or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Whatever
purple.
it's called.
Yeah. Yep, Purple Scream. She's the one that survives. So, is there any chance that this is actually the last one, or do you think this is a lie?
I think it's the last Venom movie. It's not the last symbiote movie.
Yeah.
How can it be the last one when you got fucking sorry YouTube? You got Noel like right there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can't do like the father of the symbiotes without other symbiotes.
Right. And also, they got the entire, like, in this film, No literally just opens up portals to multiverses. That's a thing that happens.
Mhm.
He just opens it up. That's how Eddie gets
They
back
read
to the MCU.
that he's tied to the Void in the comics on the wiki page, and they're like, "Cool, Void. We're
Yeah.
gonna use that as a doorway." No.
Oh. Pray for Beyond the Spider-Verse, am I right?
Maybe that's
gonna-
where he comes into it.
He's gonna
Noel's the villain in the
beat
third
Spot. You see Miles come out of nowhere fighting Knowles throughout the whole half of the other movie. Like, oh, okay.
one. And he pulls in
Miss
the
Chan is in it,
PlayStation
right?
Miles. No.
Mhm.
Miss Chan is
Oh,
in it, all
brother.
right. She's
Yeah,
probably the most likable character in these movies.
Yeah, from like what people are saying is like she's like the highlight out of all these three movies.
Yeah,
So
that she is. Like, I don't know. So, like, they keep saying the franchise is ending, but then you have Tom Hardy come out there and he's like, "So I want to do a Venom 4, but this is what we got to do." It's like, should not have called it The Last Dance. And I get it. Like, Venom dies in the film, but a piece
Oh,
of the
no,
symbiote still left
spoilers.
over. Yeah.
But
Like,
isn't it coming out on DVD tomorrow? It's fine. There's no spoilers.
Is it coming out
Oh.
that quick?
Yeah,
it's
Really?
supposed to be by the end of the year. I
I
don't
thought
know.
it comes out like this month. Oh, that was
Uh,
Joker. My bad.
Yeah, that's Joker.
Wow.
He's like, gotta get their money some way.
It's like the same thing. My bad.
Ricardo's a grifter. You heard it here. Just making stuff
If
up.
it's not Black Adam, he doesn't want it.
That's totally true. Oh man. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about more of this Venom franchise because we're seeing diminishing returns now. Like this film was the lowest opening of the trilogy in the US, like by a long mile. It did like 50% less than the last one, which is
Good.
it's
Good.
showing signs of slowing down. I think that they would be insane if they gamble on another one unless they could realistically produce this overseas and partner with one of those Chinese companies like Tencent that could do half the film's budget. So that way, even if it makes $400 million, it's still a huge win for Sony. So I could see something like that, a partnership distribution. But yeah,
The only way I can see this is if they can talk Marvel into doing a team up with Spider-Man and the MCU. Which potentially could continue. I'm just, Ricardo, I'm not saying I want it. I'm just saying that's like perhaps the only thing.
Yeah.
You see, you're shaking your head now, just like
I don't want this.
No.
I don't want to catch a stroke in theaters.
It's true. It's true. So, any closing thoughts on the future of Venom and what might happen?
I'm probably not going to watch it regardless. So
Yeah.
Tom Hardy's coming back regardless. He's gonna because he's the money maker. Whenever that Tom Holland crossover happens, Tom Hardy is gonna get the big bucks for that.
You would assume.
But Venom, I guess the symbiote's gonna land on Craven next. Who knows? Craven versus Null.
Oh, I just threw up in my mouth. Oh, that's gross.
You don't want to see him hunt the symbiote king?
God, that's
you still got Gargan out there, so have a Scorpion.
Brother, I forgot about him.
Scorpion.
He's still in jail.
Make him the MCU Venom, please.
They need to.
Yeah, bring him back. Give him the Scorpion in the second act. He becomes symbiote Scorpion, and there you go. There's your Venom.
Sony, bring in Alistair Smite.
Yes.
Only if he has those like shoulder tubes from the 90s cartoon, though. That's the only version I will accept. Because remember, he was in TASM 2?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yep, Alistair Smite was in there.
You shouldn't be shocked because they tried to Easter egg every single Spider-Man.
Everything, everything.
Oh, brother. The only thing I remember was like Gwen Stacy dying.
Makes sense.
You forgot him. You forgot him offing the Rhino at the end.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh wait, no, I remember that. He killed Rhino.
Yeah, Spider-Man definitely killed Rhino at the end of that film. That much is crystal clear. But I got a couple more things. We're halfway into the show. We got a couple topics or questions here and pitches. So when we were talking about the Blade movie and how they can't figure it out, Simon A. Kamutsa Fuda 502. Oh, I botched that one.
That just sounds like you're being horrendously racist. I'm going to be.
It does, but that's
no what way you cut that. It's just
his reply to the whole Blade idea and hey, what should they do? He just simply said, "How about a vampire festival movie?" Which honestly, if you want to bring back the Blade techno, which you should theme the whole film around like a smallish gathering of vampires having like a yearly whatever blood sacrifice, and Blade hears about it and he's like, I'm gonna infiltrate this, and it's an hour and a half of me just killing vampires in a building. It can be made for like $5 million. Like,
it could work. That sounds like an A24 movie.
Yeah. Like that new Wolfman movie sounds just like that. It's like, hey, it's a house invasion film with the Wolfman. We made it for like $100,000. You're like,
are you saying Wolfman or Woke Man?
Wolfman, yes, Wokeman.
That sounds like an interesting
Wokeman house invasion movie.
Well, what's Wokeman?
That sounds really interesting. A home invasion movie, but it Blade's the monster, and you have the point of view from the vampires.
Right. Like, I think that could be an interesting angle on this. So it's like, you know, it could work. Like, they need, obviously, the Blade movie. It's not going to be $1 billion hit. It's not even going to be $500 million. This thing's ceiling is like 350 million tops.
I
So
mean,
they
it has
need
to come out to make money, right?
that's true. Yeah, that's
No.
true too. Which actually we got a comment here from Nin the Shinobi, and he says, or they say, I'm not sure, male or female. I get the impression that Blade is coming out after Secret Wars because it's not going to factor into anything at all. Trying to hard focus on Doomsday and Secret Wars tie-ins right now, which, I mean, Blade never made sense to me when they announced it. I was like, Multiverse Saga, and then you look at Blade, you're like, unless that's Wesley Snipes, which it wasn't when they announced it, you're like, how does this make sense, you know?
The wildest thing is still having Blade appear at the end of Eternals.
It's
He's the
He
celestial.
doesn't appear, right? They
You
got
just
out
hear his
of-
voice
Oh,
over.
brother.
He was talking.
He's the reason why Eternals 2 is cancelled, but
Yeah.
he never appeared.
It's the Blade vortex. You get near him, you just get, oh my God. Think about this. Microsoft announced an exclusive Blade game. Microsoft is dying with the Xbox. Wow, Blade is
Just Blade.
actually
Oh,
it's
wow.
a death note to you.
Just
That's
Blade.
Well,
that's
yo,
it.
what Wesley Snipes did. There's some voodoo on the franchise. What?
What we're saying
That's
is
why
if-
he avoided tax all those years. That's what the
That's-
voodoo does.
Oh, that's my God.
Don't worry,
I
he
think
getting money now. He's good.
we're
he's
piecing
good
this
now.
all together. It's
That's why he said there's only going to be one Blade. That was completely improv.
and true. He put a curse on it. And we do got one more comment. It's not related to Blade or anything, but it's from Circus Baby 4014, and they said some things you guys didn't discuss here that I thought about the main X-Men is the theory that he believes, or they believe, that instead of doing Cyclops and Jean Grey, they should do Cyclops with Emma Frost to kind of differentiate it from the previous version. And
No.
look,
Here's the thing about Cyclops. He gets around
yeah,
a
he
lot.
does.
So it wouldn't really matter who he starts off with at this point, because if you've seen Cyclops, he likes girls a lot. So
And
Like
Wolverine.
little Canadian men as well.
Yeah, see, Mitch knows.
Well, see, like, you can. The issue here is if he gets with Emma, she's super toxic.
oh yeah,
If he gets with Jean, she's super toxic. So Cyclops is kind of stuck in the same relationship because, you have Jean and she's going to be like, I love you, Scott, but Logan. And you got Emma, she's like, I love you, Scott, but every guy that looks at me. So it's
Yeah.
like, she's got,
yeah. Because I think they look at one
problem.
point, it looked at saying like they're saying like they love him, and then they checked his mind. He was thinking of Cyclops at the time.
Yeah. And like, look, I'm not dissing on Emma. I absolutely love her. She's like in my top 10 X-Men,
but-
but like,
She is toxic because I think
yeah.
like at one point like it came out that she doesn't have a British accent. She uses her psychic abilities to make everyone think she does, which is
Wow.
kind of funny.
Poser.
Mitch is already mad. Time to blacklist her. I don't like her.
She's banned from this aisle, I tell you.
It's I don't know, like I do like the idea of maybe having, well, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be teenage or young adults that are the X-Men. So if there's a love triangle happening or a couple love relationships that Cyclops, Emma, Jean, maybe even a younger Logan are involved with, that falls in line with the X-Men in their early days and being teenagers. So like,
I mean, it falls in line with them in their mid-30s and 40s and
That's
whatever
true.
timeline they end up in. Because
they're honestly like the CW permanently. It's always something about the relationship. It's like you have a child. He's literally teaming up with you from the future and you're still having relationship issues. Come on. It's wild. And everybody knows that Emma has been highlighted as like the homewrecker in the X-Men. So
I wonder why.
full on go into that. It's just take that angle and run with it, because why wouldn't you? So we'll be back to talk more about Q&A. next episode we'll probably get a little bit more because I'll have more time, and we're going to give it a couple more days to gather up questions. So stay tuned. Any topics or any ideas you guys have about any topics we talk about, that's what we're looking for to incorporate back into the show. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Spider-Man 4. We got a release date, end of July of 2026. So we got a bit of a ways
Isn't that
to go.
the usual spot for Spider-Man movies?
In
So
July,
it used to
yeah.
be end of June, first week of July. Now it's like the third week of July. So it's a little off, which it's interesting because July 24th of 2026, that's a week after Chris Nolan's next film. And remember, he signed a huge IMAX deal. I have a
Oh,
feeling
wow,
Spider-Man is
yeah.
moving. Spider-Man's going to have to
100%,
move
yeah.
before it because with that Nolan IMAX deal, what's Spider-Man going to do? It's literally, it can't have IMAX screens because Nolan's films are contractually obligated to run on them for like 3 or 4 weeks. So
they take priority over Spider-Man. So.
yeah, because that's the
They
deal
could
he signed.
They could do because this was the same situation regarding like when Barbie came out, right?
Yeah.
Where they was trying to like, but
Mhm.
Barbie still made so much money because it was
Yeah.
also like on Dolby screens, etc. So like I feel like even this part, because I don't know, because I live in New York, right? So there's like movie theaters on like every block, like it's McDonald's. So it's everywhere. But like seeing Spider-Man or whatever on a Dolby screen for me would be like
Mhm.
perfectly fine, you know. So
I'm looking at the release schedule right now for 2026. July 1st, Shrek 5. July 10th, live action Moana.
wow.
July 17th, Nolan film starring Tom Holland.
So Chris
Directed by
Holland,
Chris Nolan.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
So Tom
That's his
Holland is
brother?
going to battle him. Tom is going to battle himself at the box office if Spider-Man
Yeah.
doesn't move. And I feel like it has to move, but then is Disney going to co-share a release date with another film they're half funding with Moana? I could see Moana getting bumped back, honestly, and give that date to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
July
no one
10th.
wants a live action Moana. Just get rid of it.
Moana's my favorite Disney like animated thing, and I don't even want this.
No.
So
And then you got to worry about Shrek 5 because they're
Yeah.
using the same animation style and art style as Last Wish from
Right,
Puss in
right.
Boots, and they're getting a lot of the original characters from the first movie to come back, especially the villain. So Farquaad's going to come back for.
He's going to get
Shrek 5.
uneaten by that dragon.
Apparently, because there was an announcement that Farquaad was coming back for Shrek 5.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So Spider-Man is actually facing a lot of competition. Now, again,
Mm.
it's a $2 billion film. It's a sequel to that, but man, it's also coming after Doomsday, which is going to have, that's going to be a huge film. So they might be able to, ride off of that with the anticipation with whatever this film is. If it's true, it's a Battle World film. This is another $2 billion hit, So maybe they can succeed with this, but at least we finally have an answer on when it's happening, because for a while there it was like, is this thing even going to materialize? Like
When did No Way Home come out? Is it 21?
December.
Yeah, December 21.
Wow. So it's going to be a 5-year gap between Spider-Man movies.
Wild. It's
It's
crazy
going to be
that
the
that's
longest one for like 20 years, right? Or something there.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Because it was quicker between TASM to Homecoming was like 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man 3 to TASM was like 3.5 to 4 years. So yeah, it's going to be the longest wait.
That's crazy.
It is. Especially
Did he
for
graduate
Spider-Man.
college?
Wait, does like Into the Spider-Verse movies count or?
Well, yeah, I guess technically theatrical. So
Mhm.
yeah. But that's a different beast entirely, and that's it is what it is. So speaking about this whole idea of Spider-Man 4 and it being sandwiched between two Avengers films, what's the plot? What do you think they're doing? Are they going to pull the null trigger and just derail this entire thing?
I think they're going to.
Probably.
I hate to say it, I just don't think they're going to.
Yeah, if the rumors are true that they were fighting back and forth on what they want for like being in a ground-based versus multiverse again. If they can't come to a compromise, it's most likely going to be a multiverse deal, probably with Null for all intents and purposes, because Sony Pictures specifically is just like that.
So I got this theory. They're going to toss Null into Spider-Man 4 into the Battle World section, right? Null will escape and bring with him whatever symbiotes, and he's going to retreat into another universe where then it's going to be like, hey, we got Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Null, and Tom Hardy's back as Venom. It's a variant, though. Don't worry. Here you go. Here's your stupid Spider-Man film. It's like
I get to fight an alien now.
yeah, Sony has to backpedal off the MCU. That's literally what this Venom film is. Like, it's backpedaling off the events of the MCU. So,
you think like now this is about to sound wacky. So what if Spider-Man 4, right? And they're like Secret Wars, depending on how they go about it, this thing. So what if Null persuades Tom Holland Spider-Man to put on the symbiote to be like, look, everything is going to hell. You're gonna need a little power boost. Here's the symbiote, and that's when etc. Last time Spidey MCU, then he's going straight to.
I would say that's not a very Null-like, but I don't think Sony cares about that. So
yeah,
the whole Sony whatever is very non-Spidey like anyway. It doesn't matter anymore. They could do that.
Oh, it's wild. It's absolutely wild that there's so much happening. Again, I don't know, like, a part of me just hopes that they don't do the whole multiverse Spider-Man thing. And I went and checked the announcement for that they made about Spider-Man 4 over on Instagram. And I just posted a comment being like, please just don't make this another multiverse film. And it's the most liked comment on their page. And the next 20 underneath it are all saying the same thing. And the likes are just up above anything else. People do not want another multiverse film or no. And I hope Sony takes that into consideration when looking at the feedback. And I get it. It's internet. It's a microcosm of the entire fan base. But if Venom: The Last Dance is not doing how you think it was going to do, and you're introducing Null and all these symbiotes, that should be foresight into maybe this isn't going to resonate with a lot of people. Just maybe. I don't know. It's Sony. Sony's going to Sony. That's what we learn at the end of the day. So, any closing thoughts on Spider-Man 4 and what you're hoping out of it?
I just want Tom Holland to.
No.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. What you said?
I just want a good movie. No, that's
yeah. Yep.
No, I was gonna say I just want Tom Holland Spider-Man to fight in the city, swinging everywhere. I want Spider-Man 2 fighting in the city, like what he did with Doc Ock.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's all I want.
Yep.
You'll get that with Black Goo. So
yeah.
It's better than nothing, right?
So you want Tom Holland power bombing someone into the concrete.
Yes.
In front of everybody by the subway station. Yes.
Right,
not in an empty building. It has to be in front of people's New York City rats. Like a bodega. Someone throws a sandwich. They have to go full on out. That's it. That's all I want. City interaction.
Well, there you go, everybody. Let us know what you would like to see, and we'll come back to this when we do comment replies. But our final topic is going to be Marvel Studios 2025 preview. Let's just say that there's a lot of content. So let me rattle this off for what we're getting next year. This is TV and films. So January, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, followed by Captain America Brave New World, followed by Daredevil, followed by Thunderbolts, followed by Fantastic Four First Steps, followed by Eyes of Wakanda, Ironheart, Marvel Zombies, and Wonder Man. Holy Jesus.
Yeah, this is really weird because last night they dropped the teaser to all of the stuff.
Yeah.
We got to see the first look at Wonder Man, which could be very interesting. So.
Wonder Man's related to Wonder, therefore it's going to be the best thing they ever make. So I don't make these rules. It's just what happens.
These are just facts.
WandaVision was the go. Agatha's the go.
Except wasn't like, so I'm still kind of confused on the plot for Wonder Man, because from what the little sneak peek trailer had, it's like Wonder Man as a whole in this pretense is for a show, in a show. So
There's gonna be some like Westview-y magic stuff going on. There's no way it's not.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on with Wonder Man, because that preview was weird. Like, if you were to show that to somebody and not tell them it's Marvel, unless they picked up on Ben Kingsley in that being the same character, that doesn't seem like a Marvel thing, for better or for worse. So
it's going to be he's high in his own supply, because isn't Wonder Man just like pure energy or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like he's overdosed on that.
I'm trying to figure out if it's Wonder Man specifically. Isn't he like a pacifist, or is that
He's
thinking
a
of Power
pacifist,
Man?
yeah.
Okay. That could be very, very interesting. People getting frustrated with him not fighting unless he absolutely has to defend himself.
Yeah.
And another surprise is that they delayed Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man to January, when originally it was for November. Then it got to December.
Well, did you see why they decided to do that? Because they're dumping What If in December.
Why?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Why?
Yeah, they just announced out of nowhere Marvel's What If Season 3 is being dumped in December, and it seems like it's a daily release again, because nobody watched Season 2, so it doesn't
December
matter.
of this year?
Yep.
Wait, did we even get the... Wait, what? What's the plot of that? What?
Yep.
That's like 2 months from now. What?
That's because, dude, What If is I think What If, outside of Secret War or Secret Invasion, which is meh, might be the biggest failure of Marvel Studios. They had such an opportunity to do something good and unique, and instead we got What If.
You got basic What Ifs and like one to three really cool ones, but for the most part it was pretty meh.
Yeah, because I don't like that they, for example, don't they promote this show like TV 14 or something like that?
Yeah, some of the episodes have a higher rating.
Yeah. So, and I still feel like they're held back from something. Like, why you're holding back on so many things? And I let the first season slide regarding animation. So the fact that they don't want to change up the animation style. Like, look at what is it? What was the Star Wars one? The anthology. Series?
Visions. Yeah.
Visions was amazing. The fact that What If doesn't do something like that is so crazy to me.
Yeah, because it's not until like recently that they finally lifted that. Depending on the project, they're like floating around the PG-13 angle, and then now it's like we can go full R-rated if we want to, because we can.
Well, that's what they're doing with Marvel Zombies. That's like an approach, and like looking at this whole lineup and everything they got coming out next year. I mean, Eyes of Wakanda. We got a little snippet of that. That looks like a different animation style. That's definitely going to work, I feel. It looks different.
No, it's the same animation one.
Is it?
Like it looks like it's the same animation to me from that snippet that they had.
So. It looks, I don't know. Was it like shaded differently? Maybe that's why.
I think that's all it is. Yeah, just purely a shading thing.
Yeah. Also, obviously, we got our first real snippet of teaser for Daredevil Born Again, and that looks, my God, that looks good. That looks...
Wow, What If really is 20 this year?
Yeah, that's wild.
It's crazy.
I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. I wish I was. I wish it didn't exist.
So not that I didn't believe you. I watched that earlier and I was like, I didn't see a date on that one.
Yeah, my brain like shut off. Like, what if? Yeah. I didn't even see it. Like, I saw the trailer and I didn't see it. It's crazy.
Just eyes glazed over it.
Yeah, that's essentially what mine did. It glazed over. What if? I saw everything else.
So
Ironheart looked good. I thought Ironheart.
Oh my God, Ironheart looks incredible.
Yeah,
I just need Ironheart to like not have a trash suit. They're all horrible so far.
Hey,
they're all just like really bulky homemade versions of Tony suits, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of the point with Ironheart at some point, but like,
isn't Mephisto in Ironheart?
Yes,
because
the Hood's the villain. No.
All right,
yeah, I'm looking at her suit right now, like the white suit she has. That's a
it's literally the space suit that Stark has.
Yeah, but it is a bit bulky and all over the place.
It looks like a Gundam.
Yeah.
Don't say that. That's mean.
Oh man. So next year, Marvel Studios is pretty stacked because
Mm.
I mean, they said they're going to 2 films a year and 2 TV series. Well, 9 total seems like a lie, but again, some of these things are so far behind in terms of what's
Mm.
going on with them that it kind of makes sense. Like Ironheart's been on the shelf for 2 years,
Yeah.
so
But you look at the CGI and that little teaser thing, it's like, yeah, good. Like, this
yeah.
should be
Yeah.
shelved for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also on top of this, I don't know if you guys saw, but they announced the Blu-rays coming out for another set of,
Mm.
Disney series. And Hawkeye
Season
is
1. Yeah.
season 1. So I mean,
They've had this entire time to change that. And
Yeah,
change
they
their
have.
mind. And they're like, no.
And also,
Hawkeye is season
remember originally it was a limited series, but when they took it out of any award consideration, it's because they retitled it internally to a season.
Mm.
Because they were going to submit it for limited awards, but then they couldn't because it's not a limited series, which again, it's interesting how you have to approach that because like Disney just has Shogun, which is winning limited series awards.
And
But
now it's getting the
after
second season.
I was gonna say
Okay.
after it won all those awards, they're like,
Mm.
actually, we're doing like 2 more seasons, maybe. So you're like, okay, interesting. So I don't know. I'm getting pretty hyped for next year because there's a lot of content, and obviously they're going to be shooting multiple projects. So we're gonna have news every single week because
Thank
there's going to be
God.
so much to
Thank
talk
God.
about.
But here's the thing: are people going to care? Can they actually pull everyone back? I know they've gone 4 for 4 this year, but
yeah,
can they?
Well, it's going to be 4 for
start
5.
pulling it back? Ah, what if doesn't count?
So they're going to go out.
Count
With,
what if?
yeah, they're going to go out with a whimper this year.
That's going to be the final episode. What if this counted?
What if anybody watches? They could legit put Kevin Feige naked sitting in a chair in that show, and nobody would know what happened because
He was
nobody would
already in
watch
season
it.
2. They've done that already.
So, nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know.
No.
They could legit like Disney could just pretend that the show exists. Be like, hey, here's season 3, and all it is a still image of nothing. And they'd be like, yep, we put it out, and nobody would question it because nobody watches What If. I don't know anybody that's watched the last season. It's, although I know one person who says that this is the best thing Marvel's done since Endgame. So,
What?
yeah, I want the edibles he's on. That's a.
I mean, just get the wax and just go over your brain.
Yeah,
You enjoy it that way.
So Marvel Studios 2025 is honestly looking good. When we do the preview starting early next year, when we pre-record, we're gonna go show by show and really break down everything we know, what's happening, and what we think, how it might tie into each other. This was just a quick preview, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts on this, leave the comment again, as always, below, and we'll get back to this in a future podcast when we get back to the topics. So we are now at the end of the show. That's 4 topics, so a little bit of Q&A, and of course we're going to do some members topics after this. We're going to talk about how Marvel Studios films that failed did not fail. So that's an interesting
Wow.
one. And Doctor Doom and where he might show up before Avengers Doomsday. We're going to cover those 2 topics for members. So hopefully you guys join us for those, and hopefully you guys enjoy the show here. So we'll catch you all next week, and take care. Well, everybody, thank you for watching that video. And as always, you can like, subscribe, share, do whatever you will. Check out the recommended video that's popped up somewhere on the screen. And also, if you would like additional content, including more discussions and more unfiltered content, check out what we offer to the members section, which has new videos going up all the time.